this is your first time joining us, thanks for checking out our content and being here with us and being a part of our fun. We are 20 Sides to Every Story. We're a gaming community. We stream a lot of our games here on Twitch, upload them to YouTube, or in some cases, as is the case with this game, we will edit this into a podcast. It's, I guess, an update on that. We will be continuing the podcast because we have a wonderful community, and Lyra actually sent me a message and asked if I needed a little help with the editing of the podcast and such. And so she's going to help us to keep that going. So
Cool.
I'm starting out this session. My gratitude goes to Lyra. That's who my gratitude goes to. So thank you so much for that. So we're going to keep that going. And yeah, our session today, we will be picking up on the 7th of Reed Rhyme, which is right at the beginning of fall, because there was a little bit of a time skip that happened a few sessions ago, where the characters were basically on the periphery of the land of fairy. Oh, that, well, you know, that could be. I'm sure there's some hexes that have some borderline alien activity happening, so that could be a conspiracy theory we sow. Hey, good morning, proficiency bonus. Good to see you. Good morning, Night of Tree. It's always cool for these Dolmenwood games. Maybe it's because of Dolmenwood. Maybe it's because it's a Saturday morning, but I always feel like we have some different faces or names in the chat, so that's always fun to see. So welcome in, everybody. So we're going to be picking up today. I am joined by Dawson playing Topsy the Grimalkin, Moreen playing Lillibeth the Hunter, Ryan playing Sir Geoffrey the Knight, and Chris playing Thomas the Minstrel. We are down one Issac, so Friar Fitzpatrick will be sidelined a bit, but we will, throughout the session, I think, narrate a few things that he is up to. He's given me some indication of what the character is interested in, so we will take care of that. So our session, we'll get right into the gameplay here. The session is going to begin the morning of the 7th of Reed Rhyme. You all had departed from Lankshorn. You're heading down to High-Hankle, which is basically the capital, I would say, of the High Wold. It is the former capital of the Kingdom of Brackenwold. It is an ancient city that you are headed towards. And your business there, I believe, is to kind of get the lay of the land a bit in terms of maybe there's some hirelings that you could pick up in the town. I think you're looking to get some supplies and equipment, maybe offload some of the treasure that you have. And just in general, you've heard that this place is a little raucous. It's known for its taverns. It's known for the debauchery that you might be able to get into there. And so I think there is some of that on the mind of at least a few of the characters. And so you guys are waking up this morning after having spent the night traveling King Puskin's Road, and you stopped at the Quivering Doily, this cute little roadside inn that is that borders an apple orchard. And when you stayed here, you met with the proprietor, Agnell, and her husband. And they not only run this inn, but they also take care of those trees and make a lot of apple-based products. So you've been enjoying some apple cider and some pastries, and had a nice dinner, and have woken up this morning refreshed and ready to hit the road and continue your journey south to High-Hankle. As you are departing from the inn, the weather is a little bit not ideal for traveling. It's not going to be something that's going to impact your ability to travel, but there's just a damp fall drizzle, and it hurts a little bit to leave the comfort of this like very cozy little place. But you know, you've got bigger aspirations for you down south. So you hit the road, and are kind of trudging along in the muck a bit. And we're just going to kind of move you forward. And for the most part, the day is fairly uneventful, at least the morning part of your trip. The rain maybe is a motivating factor for you to pick up your pace and pick up your step. And it isn't long before you maybe stop sometime around noon, get a little refresh, get a little some food in your bellies and whatnot, and maybe at about like 2 p.m. or so, like early afternoon, you're beginning to just get a sense. The farmland, it seems like the plots of land maybe get a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter together. And you're just getting the sense that that maybe you're approaching civilization just based on some different signs. At some point, there's maybe literally a little post with a wooden pointer, a little roadside marker suggesting that High-Hankle is just a few miles ahead. And as you're journeying, you come across something on the road. There's a bit of a crimson stain in the dirt, and it is the precursor for the next little bit that you see, and that seems to be a severed leg on the trail. No body.
Human leg?
It seems to be. It still has a pretty hefty looking boot, like the kind of thing that maybe a soldier or a knight might wear. And the leg seems to be, it was covered in some kind of like a chain, like chainmail. But the chains have been ripped apart from the rest of the suit or whatever and just dropped here on the road. And you're looking around and you can see no evidence of who it belongs to.
Is it, does it look like a clean cut, like maybe if it was done by sword, it would be a little like...
It doesn't look like that to you. It almost looks like it was torn.
Any evidence of like a bite? Any teeth marks, indents on the bone, anything like that?
The bone, maybe not teeth, but it looks like the bone was crushed, as if it was not a clean break like by a sharpened sword or anything like that, but almost like something had clamped down and like crushed the bone and actually, maybe imprinted some of the chain mail like into the flesh as it was torn from the body.
I'd like to take a look at this and see just if there's any sign that whatever did this tearing and left this blood splotch actually sort of sat there and gnawed on the leg. And then if so, where's the rest of the body or not? So I want to look for like footprints or anything around.
Okay.
And Alex, I will, upon seeing this, I'm going to draw my longsword and just kind of stand at the ready, looking off, just kind of watching.
Okay.
Making sure nothing moves in on us or anything.
So two things. First, to your point, Moreen, as Lillibeth looks at the leg, looking for chew marks or whatever, and kind of is just inspecting it, trying to figure out what the story is here. I think what you'll notice is that this leg is it's kind of depressed into the earth a bit. The earth is a bit soft here because of the moisture from the rain and everything. But like it looks like it fell. Like gravity has imprinted it into the earth and it has sunk in a bit.
Oh,
So
lovely.
wherever this carnage happened, it was not right here. The blood seems to be just residual. It doesn't look like it was butchered and chewed upon or gnawed upon here. And then if you want to do your tracking roll for me.
Yes. Let me get in here and try and do that tracking roll. Here it is. Never mind. It has all sorts of things that are not mine.
You're a hunter, so your tracking chance is a 60%. So if you'd roll percentile, try to get a 60 or under.
That would make sense. Okay, let me get to the dice then. Which I can't see for some odd reason. Hang on.
So while you're looking for that, just vocalize
Just
this.
use. I'm going to go ahead and just roll, and I'll find out why I can't see anything on the screen for the dice because I can't. So let me just go ahead and get this. It's a 60.
You got a 60?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you got exactly what you needed, or, one more and you wouldn't have made it. So,
Right.
So that is going to lead you to be looking. Now that you've maybe discerned that this body part dropped from the sky and you're looking at kind of the trail of blood.
Holy moly, what?
The trail leads you to look to the northwest, which is precisely where Thomas at this moment is looking. Because in the farmer's field there, amidst rows of corn that is popping up out of the earth, you see several figures standing around in the field where the corn stalks have been apparently harvested already. There's a number of armored figures standing in a circle, kind of looking down. And there may be some, let's say, like 500 feet away from you.
Me seeing that, I call Sir Geoffrey over. Say, Sir Geoffrey, perhaps you should speak with the soldiers there. See if there's something we may not be able to help with.
Yeah, and I'll with that I'll kind of walk past Thomas up towards the the troop and kind of try to pay attention to what I see on my way up, like what their standards bear and whatnot, and see if I recognize anything.
Yeah, so there are 8 of them in total. And you can see that they are wearing chainmail with cloth tabards that have this coat of arms on them. A sigil that depicts a hog atop a harp with several arrows and spears piercing its flesh. This is the sigil of House Hogwarsh.
The chainmail they're wearing, does it look familiar? Is it like the chainmail that I saw on the leg?
It would be in conformity with that of a similar style.
Yep. Yeah, and I will kind of stride up and say something, troops of House Hogwarsh, announce myself, who I am, and I'm Sir Geoffrey, and me and my traveling companions we may have stumbled upon possibly what you might be looking for. We found a leg with some chainmail on it. I'm assuming maybe one of yours. You know, can we be of assistance?
And they will sort of like spread out a little bit. You know, they're all huddled around looking down at something, and then they spread out, and you can see like half a torso with like a bloodied, tabard or whatever, like a piece of the body that presumably that leg belongs to. And one of them hails you, and he says, "Hails, Sir Geoffrey. I am Sir Arfred of House Hogwarsh. Yes. We're just collecting up the remains of our man here. No need to worry yourselves. We have this under control." Well, they all kind of like give sideward glances at one another. We're handling it.
Would you mind if I ask what happened? It appears almost as if these were dropped by the gods.
Well, no. It was a griffin, actually.
A griffin.
Correct.
In these parts, right outside High-Hankle.
Well, they are not native. They have escaped. Some sort of. Well, from High-Hankle. It would seem.
Do you have a griffin zoo?
Not a zoo, miss. I didn't catch your name, but we have griffin riders. Our military is trained. We have a squad of griffin riders, and some bout of mischief has set them free. We're trying to recover them or locate them, but this lad here, well, he was riding a horse. Griffin was a bit hungry, I suppose. And, well...
Does this sort of increase your quartermaster's overall food budget by having the griffins sort of randomly prey on High-Hankle's citizens?
Well, I don't know about all of that. We're out here to recover the body.
What about the griffins? Are you looking... You're not here to recover the griffin?
Well...
Seems
no.
like you have a trail right to it.
And he kind of like looks in that direction. He's like, yeah. And then they start to like engage in some small talk like themselves, like you're just kind of there, and they're like, we should probably report back, right? They're probably roosting in the tower out that way.
There's a tower that way. How many griffins have been freed? Do you mind if I ask? I know I'm being
4.
terribly nosy.
There are 4. I believe. You seem like he's just kind of sizing you up a bit. If you're looking for a job, there might be one here for you, but I don't know the details. If you're heading into High-Hankle, my suggestion would be to seek out Sir Waverly the Orange. He would be able to give you the details about what is going on here. I think you're probably right, though. And they're just looking off in the distance. You don't see a tower. They reference a tower, but you kind of hear them. They're sort of referencing that there's some sort of tower out in that direction that they are concerned about.
And we have, I'm assuming, Thomas, I think you are kind of our map maker, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll kind of look at you and say, hey, would you mind marking on our map, kind of where we're at and the direction towards this tower? I'm just, just in case we do speak with Sir Waverly and do decide to try to, make some money, make some connections, maybe figure out who are the best fighters around here to take with us.
Done and done.
Do you guys have anything more you want to talk to these folks about?
Oh no, I think they've told us everything we need to hear at this point.
Yeah, I will tell them where their friend's leg is. I'll say, hey, we found it over there. We didn't move it. And just follow the trail.
They'll thank you for that. They're like, it's a shame, the Griffin. I guess they feast on horses, and he was on horseback, and so he was sort of in between it and its lunch or its prey, and
a topping.
I do have one question before we leave you and make our way to High-Hankle. Do you have any reason to think that other than folks riding horses, that anybody has anything to fear from these griffins? Are they relatively well trained, or is there a concern for like the folk, the livestock, and the livelihoods of the people out here?
Well, I mean, they are trained, but you can't. They are wild creatures. Like their bestial nature is going to be. So actually, probably the knight is not saying this. So 4 of them are knights, and the other 4 seem like they are. They're like dressed in like patched leathers and whatnot, and they have like these weird like poles that have the kind of thing that you like use to like wrap around a animal's neck and kind of rein it in, these like poles to kind of keep distance but yet control the things. They seem to be like griffin keepers themselves, and they will step in to talk about the expertise of caring for these creatures and their behavior and everything like that. And they basically say, under the right conditions, under our care, we can control them and use them as mounts and such. But outside of that, we got plenty of shepherds out here. We've got livestock aplenty. If left to their own devices, they're going to be quite a problem out here.
Yeah, I feel like my brother would be interested in hearing that, because I know he was having some conflict about us doing some good for some people. And this sounds like not such a great thing for the folks out here. And I'll sort of shake the hands of the trainers and the knights, say well met, give them kind of the customary respects and whatnot, and then let them know we're going to make our way to High-Hankle, and we hope to see them with all of their limbs soon, and to keep their eyes on the sky.
They will thank you for taking an interest in this. The knight will share with you that certainly Sir Waverly the Orange is a little under stress right now with the talk of the goat folk going to war, and he needs to be on the ready in case Baron Hogwarsh decides to intervene in that situation at all. So you're getting the sense that this person that they're directing you to is really, he's kind of the head of the military within the city, within High-Hankle. And they will direct you to where you can find him once you reach High-Hankle. They will tell you that he can be found at the Griffinry, which is a garrison within pretty close to Castle Perigonne. And so, with that,
I would like to pipe in at this point and say, good men, this is the first time that we would be in High-Hankle, and to be totally honest, we've heard word that there may be, some dangerous spots in the city. Is there some place that you would recommend to avoid those places? Some place for us to stay that would be, I guess, away from.
They kind of look at one another. They trade a look almost of embarrassment. Like they know, you're talking about their home, and they want to dispute it, but they know that they can't because it has such a reputation, and so, they will share with you that if they were an outsider and they were coming to town to stay, that they would probably stay at the Crown Cruciferous. It's an inn that you're going to pay a little more to be there, but it's maybe a little bit more on the up and up in a safe place. They have private rooms that you can book and things like that. A lot of the wealthier merchants and such will stay there because they know it's safe.
Thank you.
That's much appreciated.
And they would probably tell you to stay out of the outer town best you can. And if you inquire about that more, they'll kind of explain that, High-Hankle is it is an ancient town, and it has a city wall, and basically that wall has been kind of serves as a class divider now that the city has gotten too big for its ancient foundations, and now there's sort of a shanty town that is built up on the outside of the gates and the walls.
Oh, before I forget, the Griffin loops that you all seem to be holding, are they common tools used by folk around here, and can they be bought in the marketplace, or are they special military?
They there isn't anything too fancy. It's more of like something that they have crafted themselves. So probably not a thing that you'd find in a shop, but they would suggest to you that if you go and you talk to Sir Waverly, ask him about that. He could probably scrounge a few up for you if you're going to take on that quest.
Well, at least be prepared for whatever might decide that we look like horses.
So
that comment.
That's a good point.
So they will, again, they'll
furry friend here.
Thank you for all of that that you're doing. They're going to get back to the business of trying to collect up this poor man so that he can get a blessing by a priest of the one true God and have a proper-ish burial. So they will leave you to it and let you get on with arriving in the city. And I'm going to switch you to a new map. That inevitably I don't have the right check boxes clicked, but let's see. Save that and High-Hankle, go. Are you able to see this map?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can.
Awesome. So basically, I should probably put a token on here to represent where you're coming in from. So you'd be coming in from this road here. And so you are traveling via the Swallop Road here into town. And you will see this sprawling city that there is a city wall that is connected by gate houses. Looks like there's likely three. One, the one that you would be approaching from, one to the northwest and one to the south. And there's indeed this sprawling interconnected road of little small homes and such that just kind of lines the city just outside the city wall, with a little bit of a haze from all of the chimneys and fires that are going now that the weather has turned to the crisp autumn air. And you can see as you're approaching and coming down maybe off of a hill that the interior of the city, which is much more fanciful in its architecture, just appears to be these really tall, elaborate buildings from ancient times that are almost interconnected, not by sorry, clicked off of Discord for a second. Interconnected like little bridges and stone pathways that connect these buildings, almost as like a method for the nobility and the upper class to avoid having to go down onto the road and intermix maybe with the common folk. And so the center of the city seems to be where kind of noble life happens and the workings of government and the military and things like that. Maybe the outer ring of buildings is more commercial, and maybe where some of the kind of upper middle class, the merchants, the artisans and such live and dwell, and also where some of the there's definitely going to be a section of the city where the tavern district is and the carousing happens in the city. As you are approaching the gate, you will see that it is flanked by the stone, the statuary that depicts both a griffin and a boar, which appear to be maybe symbols of House Hogwarsh. And you will see things like this all throughout the city. Like the architecture of these ancient buildings will have been retrofitted with different decor that depicts griffin
iconography.
That's the word. And hogs and such.
The I word.
The I word. Images. So that is what you see as you're coming in. So as we start things off, you'll see, around town there is a town guard clad in mail, chainmail with periwinkle and boar emblazoned tabard, just like those folks that you saw out in the field. They're numerous throughout High-Hankle. You don't get the sense that some of the other places that you've been in Dolmenwood have been a little bit light on security. It is not so here. This is a very fortified kind of place. So, what is on your agenda first? Time-wise, it is evening. So we're probably looking at about 6 p.m. or so.
Probably need to secure lodging first, huh?
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah, let's try and
And
find this crown.
The soldiers gave
crucifix.
us the spot, right?
Yeah.
So you will head to the Crown Cruciferous.
Sounds fancy.
And that would be if you... Oh, you don't have numbers on this map.
It looks like broccoli, right?
Yes.
Broccoli?
Well,
Broccolini?
crown. Bring crown. Never mind.
It's totally fine. Just now you got me intrigued.
I'm interested.
So
Well, I'm gonna predict that we find broccoli, but I could be told.
Ugh. Tell you, but if there is some, I'm not having it. Nope. No, sir.
No, it would be bad for you anyway.
the larger buildings are all interconnected by the bridgeways and the arches and such. And so you will find yourselves before a lofty stone building perched upon the upper layer. So this whole place, this whole center, you'll hear this at some point, is called the Escalade. And this is where the nobility and the military all is concentrated. And so this building that you are standing before, there's a grand stairway that leads up from the street level to the front doors of the inn, and it almost appears or looks like a cathedral to you, or that maybe it had been a cathedral at one time. The sign out front depicts a golden crown decorated with a hefty cross of rubies. And as you enter, you see a broad, reverberant stone hall decked with plush green carpet. There are booths around the perimeter that are discreetly partitioned with wood paneling that give a little bit of privacy to the patrons that choose to seat themselves there. There are banners and the coat of arms of hundreds of obscure noble houses that line the walls. And the bar looks well stocked with racks of wine and bottles of vintages that maybe some that are even familiar to you from, anything that is from your homelands would be very rare to find here, but they seem to have things from all over the world. And so you are feeling that you are in the cush of luxury here. And your coin purse, you're probably thinking, I don't know, you've heard that there's a Thieves Guild in town. Like, what you might have lost out in poorer conditions, you might end up spending right here, buying drinks and such from such a lush place. It won't be long. As you enter, you will probably pretty promptly be greeted by one of the serving staff who will welcome you to either grab a seat up at the bar, or if you would like a table, if you're going to be sitting down for some food, for some private dining, you can do that as well.
I don't know that we
probably
need a
need
whole lot of privacy, but 5 meals, some drinks, and room.
Okay.
Or
Yes.
3 rooms, I suppose, right?
I can go wherever.
Yeah, you can just curl up at the foot of the bed, right?
I mean, why the foot of the bed? The bed's the most comfortable, if we're being honest.
I mean, which you are you most comfortable sleeping in?
It's really a horse apiece, and no pun intended, with the whole never mind. I put wherever, just honestly, you put me in a corner, just as long as I'm next to a window where it's nice and warm, then we're all good.
So,
or smack dab in the middle of your bed.
You want to? If we have to share rooms, you want to share with me?
I'm fine with whatever.
I would love that.
she will kind of overhear you all kind of talking about this, and she'll say each of our rooms can accommodate 2 comfortably. 2 beds.
Probably
Just 2 then, right? Because Friar will be heading to the church likely today or tonight, or...
Well, even if he's with me, the Grimalkin can then sleep, on the bed next to one of us, the kitty room.
Okay.
Friar Fitzpatrick might suggest the hour is late, probably too late to go and seek counsel with one of the members of the church, but maybe in the morning he will attend to that. So the barmaid that you were talking with says, great. And she kind of points you in the direction of an open table. She says that she will get your keys, and she will leave you to consider or think about, what your beverage of choice is or what meals you may want.
definitely interested in a bath too as well.
And okay, she says,
You have those
lovely, lovely.
services?
Absolutely. We can, I'll make sure that we draw a bath for you and get that prepared for when your meal is over. And so she will depart and get you your room keys, give you some time with the menu here. Let's see.
Should we lodge up for a couple nights, a night or two? Tell her we're here for a bit, or
I mean, I wouldn't be against the idea of staying here for a little while. As long as it keeps me out of the rain, I'm just wonderful. Which reminds me, what are we doing? Are we going to cause like a bar fight? Are we going to steal someone's pockets? Come on, you got to tell me all the secrets. It's a whole new place, whole new tavern. Come on, what are we doing?
He has a point.
well, tonight I think we it's late already, so I think tonight beyond maybe talking I don't think we want to cause a ruckus here. This is where we sleep. We don't want to poo-poo where we eat. But tonight we can just kind of talk it up maybe here. In the morning, head out into town and start selling off what we have no need for. Start getting you some equipment, and maybe seeing what equipment we have that we can shuffle around and sell or give to different members of the party, and kind of start that in the morning. But I'm thinking tonight. It's been a journey, and I'm kind of thinking, just kind of eating, bathing, retiring. At least for me.
Oh, I'm totally fine with that. I mean, if that's what you want to do, big guy, that's all right.
Gonna give you a side glance and wink.
As you are conversing and such, food. They'll tell you the specialty tonight in terms of meal is a famed specialty, brathering, which is pancakes layered with sliced apple, cured sausage, and gooseberries. And the woman who is your server, she's not dressed like a barmaid. I think I referred to her as a barmaid, but she really isn't. Like, she's like dressed in this nice gown. She's wearing a golden necklace that is adorned with rubies. She looks like she could be a patron herself here. That she would fit right in. So, she comes
Before
back
she leaves,
and
then I'm probably gonna like on the side just be like, just how much is it costing us? Get some prices if it seems really fancy.
oh, you're gonna ask her? She will kind of frown a little bit when you ask, and she says, "Oh, like."
If you have to ask, it's too expensive.
Oh, should I not have asked?
Sir Geoffrey, you should have.
She will tell you that the meals here are 2 gold pieces.
Wow.
And then she'd promptly leave. Like, she would answer the question, but not engage with you any further.
Yeah.
I
made a faux pas.
Well, it's been a long time since you've been. It's been a long time since you've been.
You can
in
see her.
These kinds of surroundings.
You can see that she's up at the bar, talking to the bartender, and
Yeah,
you wouldn't believe what I was just asked. But she will come around and then, ask if you have a drink order.
I have something I'm dying to try. Because we've only had wine, pretty much, wherever we've been. I'm not a wine drinker. So I want to have, I don't know how much a bottle of the Prigwort tipple will be, but I would definitely like to share that with my companions.
Sure. She would say that they have that, and that would be 2 gold for a bottle.
Not so bad.
We're living it up. We might as well live it up, at least tonight. and then we'll decide. We'll see where the coffers lie later and make a decision, because we do have stuff to do with that money. As you can see, Geoffrey, being the the one that holds the purse, is the most nervous about the purse.
So you enjoy your meal. She brings over that bottle, and you enjoy some of the Prigwort triple. She brings out some fancy little like sipping glasses, so you can sip on this spirit, which has a very kind of a chestnut in alcoholish, fennel taste.
I'm gonna knock mine right back. Just knock
Shoot
it
her.
back.
Okay. Yep. You can do that, and you feel a little bit tipsy. Probably a few minutes later, but yeah,
Geoffrey's gonna be exactly the opposite. He's gonna.
Must slowly like lap the drink, just like la.
Little kitty sips.
Little.
Is there anything that you wish to do beyond enjoying these comforts before taking your baths? I think Thomas and Sir Geoffrey were going to take in a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm. My plan is to get full belly, some drink, get in a bath, hand them my clothes or whatever to have them wash and my clothes and such. If anybody has any clothes that need, a little mending or whatever, I will probably do that in the room tonight. But that is my plan until the morning. So
Sounds good. I'm going to say Friar probably would want to grab a bath also. So I think with that, we will maybe close out the evening with you all doing kind of these types of things, taking a bath, just enjoying the meal, enjoying the warmth of the hearth, all those types of things. Are there other specifics that anybody wants to get into to resolve?
I
would.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I would like to have a conversation with you real quick, if I may. While they're not paying too close of attention. I am so bored. Oh my God, it's just been crazy. I've been, it's fighting, sleeping. We've got to go do something else.
Oh, well, I have the activity for you.
What?
I heard you're a hunter of sorts.
Yes.
I'm somewhat of a hunter myself. But not for whole big game, mighty beasts, unicorns in the darkness type of thing. More like the little itty bitty, teeny tiny rodents. But sometimes the bigger ones. I like to make
go on.
I like to make a game out of it.
Oh,
whoever can
okay.
catch the most rats in a lot of amount of time gets 1 gold piece.
Okay, I'll take you up on that.
Also, because I am very hungry and I've been craving a rat for at least a month.
Well, it's the least I can do. I've been feeding everybody else things like deer and, rabbits and God knows what else out there. But yeah, sounds great. Okay, you're on. So when do we just walk out? Do we wait till we go to our room and then sneak out? How do you want to do this?
We'll know when it's time.
Okay.
There'll be that cue. Then we'll know.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, if I'm understanding what's happening here is Lillibeth and Topsy want to slip out from the inn and do some rat hunting.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So, where will you be headed to try to find some rats?
I will shift into my cat form and try go into what's the equivalent of the city gutters.
So, are you thinking inside the wall or outside the wall?
If I were a rat, where would I be? The fun part of hunting. I'd probably
Well,
be.
if you're a smart rat, you'd be in the
I'd probably
inside.
be, wherever they throw all the garbage and stuff. Kind of just the most disgusting place possible.
Okay. So, trying to find maybe a little bit more of the kind of run down part of maybe the like carousing district or something, or
Oh yeah.
sounds good. And Lillibeth is helping with this. I guess maybe first thing would be, why don't you do that tracking roll percentile, try to get a 60 or under.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Rats, not really the type of thing that you're more of a hunter out in the wilds, not really an urban hunter, but you do have Topsy with you. So Topsy, let's see if you get lucky here. We'll say there's a +1 on this because of where you were headed. So you definitely tonight find evidence of rats and such, kind of crawling through. You can find like corners of alleys where like big heaps of like potato skins and like the icky parts of carrots and stuff like that are. But it's almost like these rats. Like you see evidence of rats, like you see rats like crawling around piles of things like that. But it's like these rats are like hypersensitive to your kind, and as soon as like you're trying to sneak up on them, it's like they have this sixth sense where like all of their heads kind of turn in unison as you approach and like scurry away and like burrow into the little cracks and crevices where you are unable to follow.
That's
oh my God,
odd.
they're evolutionarily designed to avoid Grimalkins.
Perhaps the city has a Grimalkin rat catching force I just don't know about. Tricky little guys. Tricky. But I'm just so hungry, Lillibeth. It's just been so long.
Oh, well, I'll do my best, but, they really, really, really are hard to sneak up on.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be a rat. It could be like a beaver. It could be like a possum. Honestly, anything that's like rodent shaped, we're all good. Groundhogs from time to time.
Well, I don't know. Let's give it one more shot and see if we can't find something that isn't going to respond to your presence.
So the two of you are out like all night doing this, and you just keep the same phenomenon kind of happens,
Dang
right?
it.
And eventually you got to call it quits because it's getting late and you need to get some rest for maybe another day of whatever your agenda is tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow night you might have better luck. However, as it is twilight now and you're making your way through the streets, this city doesn't sleep. There's people around all over. And as you're kind of making your way back to your lodgings, you're kind of hit at some point by sort of a warmth and a crimson glow, because as you make your way back to the inn, a building in the same square where that place is ablaze. It looks like a shop front. And there are people that are like all around, kind of the crowd is gathered to look at this. You can see that there's a man, a woman, and two small children that are just like openly weeping and kind of panicked. Like they all look like they're in their pajamas. Then they maybe grabbed a few items. Presumably they were just inside that building moments ago. And like the town guard is kind of rushing around and they're trying to bring in a wagon full of barrels of water to try to do what they can to contain this blaze.
So I'm just going to run over to see if I can help. Not even going to wait. Not even going to wait for Topsy. So just head over to see if there's anything we can do to help. I can do to.
You like approach one of the guards that seems to be, escorting this wagon or whatever, and they will gladly accept a hand, and they're all kind of grabbing buckets and whatnot and dumping them in the barrel to try to do what they can to like douse this flame. And so they'll accept that, and like as this is happening, you can hear some of the common folk that are gathered around to watch this disaster. Some of them are calling out, "What is Baron Hogwarsh going to do to get crime under control in this city? Where is he? Where is his leadership?" And then, almost comically so, many of the people are looking up at the Escalade and the many little archways and such that connect the cities, and you can see them all look up, and there is a noble-looking man that is hunched over, puking his guts out with a bottle in his hand. And they all, like many of the soldiers, are looking up also and kind of shaking their heads in disappointment. And you get the sense that they're all looking up, and that is Baron Hogwarsh, drunk as a skunk.
So, Topsy, is that a rat you'd like to eat?
Like, she hops up on your shoulder in cat form and just like meows disapprovingly at you.
I said
So
I was a good person.
after about an hour or so, like with Lillibeth and Topsy, were you helping out a bit with that as well? Or watching? Or
I'd more watch.
okay. So you're hearing some of the scuttle of disgruntled citizens, law-abiding citizens upset about. You're going to hear from them that this is likely the work of the Thieves Guild. You maybe even hear like the man that owns this business kind of crying out like, I faithfully paid for so many years. I was a little late on, he's talking about he paid some protection money to the Thieves Guild. The soldiers themselves just kind of, they look almost defeated. Like this is not that rare of an occurrence. Things like this happen a bit, and that there is a criminal element in High-Hankle that is just spun out of control. But I think with all of that, this scene will close out. They'll get the fire under control. The soldiers will work with the family to try to relocate them for the night, and you will be checking back into your room and such. And so we will enter into the 8th of Read Rhyme as you awake. The previous day, the night at the Crown Cruciferous, you never paid any money. They never took any gold from you, but you will be met with a hefty bill in the morning. And let me just total this up and hold on to your hats, because it is going to cost you 4 times 4.
We're gonna get close. I'm gonna estimate between 15 and 20 gold pieces for this night. Because we're already at 8 for the rooms, right? We got. Oh, 8
That was just the
food.
meals.
8 was just the food.
10.
Right, plus
10
2
10
for the bottle
10 gold,
of.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
12 gold pieces for the food and the wine.
I have no idea how much for the bath.
And then 2 rooms.
So
The bath.
63 gold pieces and 4 silver pieces.
Holy shit.
Okay, it's less than 1 blue gem.
So I will
That's more than you paid me.
grab this from Geoffrey, I think, right?
Yeah. Guys, I don't know if we can afford to stay here. If we're gonna be here a lot. If we're gonna stay here several nights, we will go through our coffers very quickly.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you didn't book the rooms in advance now, did you?
I think you're smart.
Oh,
Is there an
Oh.
accounting on the bill? Does it say how much the rooms were?
The rooms were 25 gold pieces each.
Yeah, that's a lot.
My guess
It's
is they
cozy.
won't let us double up either. Double up on our doubling up.
Double up on our doubling up. probably not. This is a respectable establishment.
So what I'm hearing is, from now on, if we go into very nice places, I should just remain in a Chester form. Right?
Probably.
Oh,
I mean, look, this is a
Look-
great
Unless
this is a great spot. We got a great night's rest. We got clean. We got clean clothes. We ate some fantastic food, like the likes that we have not seen anywhere else. This was very well worth it, and we needed it. But I do think that tomorrow night we should downgrade our lodgings.
someplace closer to where did we go? Where did we go?
I don't remember. It was all a blur. I was in the frenzy, man.
Okay. Anyway, maybe closer to the outside walls than we are right now.
Oh boy, and I tell you, Timmy, your Thieves Guild here is quite a hoot.
Yeah, we learned a lot about that yesterday.
What's that?
There was a small fire.
Like an entire business establishment went up ablaze because they didn't pay the Thieves Guild protection money, kind of thing.
On time. I mean, obviously they paid, but just not on time. So for all we know, they may be
Interesting,
staying
huh?
here at the inn. Poor family. Hate it when that happens. No self-respecting Thieves Guild should let itself get into this state.
Speaking of that whole Thieves Guild debacle, how good are you looking onto your coin purse there, big guy?
What's that?
You know, there's thieves everywhere, and it will be such a shame to lose all of that wonderful, wonderful money you got.
Yeah, it would be. It would definitely be a shame.
And I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm kind of saying you should do this. Hey, if you want someone to hide something, I can be a little bit persuaded to do such things.
Like,
Oh, you like hide our coin somewhere?
Oh yeah, like I can hide it for you. Here's the secret. I
our-
hide it.
We put our money in our kitty.
you.
It's like a piggy bank, but it's a kitty bank, you know?
So when you're Chester, we have to ask you to
Your
become
coin purse,
Topsy.
No, you could. No, it's just I could just switch between different forms. You know, I know of 3, but I can do this one. I can do the cat one, and then one we don't want to talk about. I haven't done that in years. But yeah, like when I turn into like the little kitty cat, everything goes poof.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But it comes back, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that'd be really awkward if I had all my stuff and then it just went poof and it never came back.
Well, you are very furry. It would be hard to tell.
That
Well,
wouldn't
never
be a
mind.
bad-
Not going there.
that wouldn't be a bad idea, but I feel like Geoffrey would be very nervous to hand over the party's coin to this Grimalkin we feel like we just met, and that it sort of just like hasn't left, you know? So I think like game wise it would be really smart, but I think Joffrey's gonna take some more convincing to do. I don't know.
Big man, you need some convincing? Well, I'm such a poor little Grimalkin and I'm so weak and my arms are so helpless. I really need a big, strong, young, muscular knight to help me carry this chest that's locked to a certain locksmith named Timothy Dunwallow. That can make you some money. And I know you like money, big guy, right?
Do you like money?
I just that my tiny little frail cat arms can't lift it all.
I mean, I'm going to turn to the party and be like, "What do what?" I would not mind letting go of this is heavy. All this coin is heavy, so I wouldn't mind giving it. But do you?
Do they have anything like a bank here? I mean,
Yeah, they would.
maybe we could compromise and put some of it in the bank and sort of at least get some, security around that. And then this is all my scribe that's coming back to haunt me. But I do think we should let Topsy carry at least the party gold when we're out. So we need to have a stash to take with us.
I mean, I'm not going anywhere immediately. Also, I just look like me, but in cat form. I'm just saying. It's pretty hard to miss.
Yeah, and
You could say no, it's fine, but if your coin purse gets robbed, just say your good old friend Topsy at least came to help.
I'm going to give you my personal coin purse for right now and just say, I'm going to trust you with this for the moment.
Yeah, I got like at least 50% of the party in the greens here.
All right, so I need direction on what I am doing.
I would probably ask around and see if I can find Timothy Dunwallow,
No, hold on.
the locksmith. Oh,
No,
go ahead.
as far as transferring things to sheets. So specifically, what am I doing?
So whatever coin purse I have, and I think you know how much money I have in it better than I do, at this point, I'm giving it to Topsy. It's not substantial.
Okay. So it looks like 512 gold pieces and 51 silver and 10 electrum and 50 copper. Is all of it is going to Topsy?
Maybe half of it is going to Topsy.
Okay, so you want 25. You just want me to make the judgment call on what you're giving him? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing that I have done is I have given Topsy 250 gold pieces. That is all I have done.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And I think if Thomas is going to vote to have Topsy become the treasurer, then I'm going to hand over the party's money, except for like 100 gold pieces for me to hang on to.
Okay, so Geoffrey. So hold on. So Geoffrey wants everything except 100 gold pieces that he's carrying to go over to Topsy.
Yeah, as long as the party's like with that. Like I said, me personally, I think it's a good idea as a player. I just think Geoffrey as the character is going to be like weird about it, openly weird about it, and if the party is into it, we're going to do it. But if the party's weird about it, he's going to be like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't have that much of a problem with it. Anything that's on me, I'm going to put into my backpack so that if it's going to get stolen, they're going to have to steal my backpack, which would be more noticeable. I figure with my pickpocketing skills, I've got some anti-pickpocketing skills, perhaps.
Yeah, no, I think in terms of the game, it makes perfect sense to have Topsy be the treasurer. You know?
All right. Now there's another part to this, and that is containers. So Topsy now has 1,080 gold pieces, but he needs containers to be able to carry that. I get that, there's a thing about, he's going to be transforming into the Chester to contain it, but like it still has to initially be in a container for that to work.
How much can a pouch hold? I'm looking.
I have my large sack, which is what I was thinking that was being kind of in anyway. Should I just give him my large sack? And then, I guess I would be without it. Oh, then I have a backpack.
You have a backpack, so your backpack can probably contain the stuff that you have. It's just, I don't know off the top of my head. I got to look this up.
It says it can hold up to 600 coins, the large sack.
Okay.
So I will give that to him for up to 600, to hold 600 coins. And then you can transfer that to him. And then does anybody else have a sack or anything?
I have a pouch.
Oh, I have two sacks. I have two sacks. There's one that's in a container. Oh wait, hang on. Maybe I'm just confused. Yeah, there's one, and then in my misc there's another one. So I don't know if that's two or it's just an accident.
Oh, we can say it's two.
Wait, now it's disappeared. Now I'm confused.
Because I'm moving it.
Okay.
Because you're giving two big bags of coin basically over to him.
Yeah, exactly. So basically that's probably what I was carrying everything in. I had like 900 right? So I'm gonna hand those 2 sacks, assuming all the money's in there to Topsy.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and that will hold what I gave him as well, right?
Yep, it'll hold up to
Yes.
1,200 gold.
So it is morning. You've taken care of that. What is the agenda for today?
I think we'll go sell off some of this stuff first, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe do some carousing. Trying to find. You said we can each pull 1 retainer a day. We also are gonna have to find another inn, I think, guys.
So
Yeah.
just a couple of things to address those things that have been brought up. If you're looking to sell valuables and such that you have gathered along the way, probably Hankle heirlooms would be a decent enough spot to try to offload those. Unless you're going to go out and try to find private buyers of such things, but it might be a good starting point. And as far as the inn situation, you're probably going to want to be outside the wall if you're going to be looking for common accommodations that are going to be more budget friendly. And so the chantry is a wood framed building on the outside of the wall that you could. It is more like what you're used to.
I think we're good with what we're used to, right, guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We had 1 night of living it up. We had some fantastic food. We got some baths. But
I do like the safety of the place, though. I do like that. I would inquire from the lady here. Is this Hankle heirlooms? Is that? I mean, do they deal in like money changing gems, or is there a jeweler in town?
She would tell you that those services that you're referring to can be handled by them. She'll tell you that it is run and operated by an individual named Snurd Furrowby.
And he's seems to be honest. Doesn't cavort with the seedier part, the seedier element of town.
She just laughs. And she's like, if you've got scruples about that, you've come to the wrong place. But
I just don't want to get marked.
Yeah, she tells you, everything is a bit pricier here in the city, and there are reasons for that. And so, she will say that you seem like the kind of person that is discerning enough to know whether you're being fleeced or not. And she tells you, just go in there with your head on your shoulders and know what your worth is, and you shouldn't have any problems. There's mutual interest in the transactions that you will have with them. You shouldn't have any problems.
Sounds good.
Very well.
Friar will, I think at this point, split from the group to go take care of what he wishes to take care of. And so first order of business is to head to Hankle heirlooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I will move your marker. Not that it is super important, but just to give you a general sense of space on the town. So that would be down kind of over on this side of the city, on the southwestern side, kind of right up against the wall. You will find this timber framed house leaning to one side, very old. Like, if you've ever been in an antique shop, it definitely has that feel. Like the building itself is an antique. And so as you could see the sign out front of this establishment is a serpent coiled around a distressed lamb. So gives you a little bit of a sense of, Thomas's fears about this place are probably not unwarranted. And you enter in. Floorboards are all creaky and squeaky, and just racks and display cases that are just sort of not super well organized. Like, if you're going to find something in this place, you're going to have to spend a considerable amount of time just kind of poking around and looking at each individual item to find the thing that you're looking for. It's got that kind of musty smell of a place that is contains a lot of antiquities and dust, and you can see that a shorthorn Bregel kind of pops out from amidst the disarray of display cases and shelving units. Doesn't really say hello or anything, but just kind of observes you with his goatish eyes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is there anything that I may assist you with?
Indeed. My companions and I wish to sell or exchange a few items. Curious what it is you would offer. Along with it, your discretion as well.
I'm willing to buy things. Discretion costs a little extra.
I would expect nothing less.
Well, show me what you have.
Go up to the counter, pull my backpack off, and I pull out a cloth, unwrap it, and there is the necklace in there.
Selling
The necklace.
the necklace.
Yes. A necklace.
A necklace. Did I give you a valuation on that item?
1,000 gold pieces.
1,000 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Okay.
Damn, son.
My eyes become saucers once more.
That's some EXP there for me.
And so his first question as he looks at it is, he will say, "Is it hot?"
No.
Okay.
No, it was found far away from here.
I'll give you 800 gold pieces for it.
$800 gold pieces and your discretion.
He stares at you. 500 gold pieces for the discretion.
That's a little too expensive for discretion.
It could cost you more in the long run, you just being in here and showing me this.
That's true. That's true. Not giving your discretion could cost you more as well.
Oh, I am not concerned.
How about... Well, I mean, we could easily take our business elsewhere, right, folks?
That is
Yeah,
true.
party.
You could.
I think the problem is we've already showed it to him, so now, and he knows we want discretion. So if we leave, he's gonna blab that we are running around with this necklace.
No. We
Oh.
talk for just a little bit. Excuse me. We already know there's a Thieves Guild.
He'll like nonchalantly be like, terrible business up there in the middle of the city last night.
Yeah. So, of course he's not worried. He's got an entire guild behind his back. But that shouldn't matter to us. We don't need to sell it here. We already know we have money. How is this any worse than where we
I'm just saying that there's definitely, if we leave with that thing, there's a target on us. There's no question.
Okay, well, if you don't think there already is one, you're very naive.
There's already a target on us?
Of course.
How? What did we do?
We came into town, we stayed in an expensive place, we spent money, and then we transferred money in front of people. Of course people paid attention.
So what you're saying is 500 gold pieces for this necklace, which includes your discretion, correct?
You will be taken care of at that price.
What does that exactly
And that includes the discretion for any other items that we currently have, correct?
Yes.
You know what? Under the circumstances, I'm fine with that because we have we've got a bunch of other gems and stuff. We've got a lot of coin. I would say if we could get this exchanged into smaller denominational gems, rather than coin itself, that would be much appreciated.
So I will deduct one necklace and the 500 gold. Where would you like that to go?
I mean, I'll keep those gemstones. I mean, that's kind of what I want is 500 gold pieces worth of gemstones.
Sure.
Maybe 20 gemstones or something like that. Just so we're not weighted down with 100 pounds of gold coins.
Yeah, he can certainly do that. So break that down into 25 gold piece gemstones. And so he takes the necklace, he goes into kind of like a back room. You don't see where he gets these gemstones from, but he comes back out with what you request and hands them to you. And he says, "A pleasure doing business with you."
Pleasure as well. What I won't ask him that. Never mind. Does anybody else have anything? I mean, I look around his shop. What all does he have here?
It's a range of high quality jewelry, antiques. There might be some rare, like taxidermied, like strange things mounted, on plaques or whatever that hang on the wall.
Sure. Would you, by chance, have any interest in a unicorn horn?
Is it real?
It's 100% real, yes.
You pull it out and show it to him? I haven't seen one of these before.
Now, this one actually was from perhaps a cursed unicorn. If you can believe that. Very, very rare indeed. probably even rarer than a regular unicorn horn.
Very interesting. I am interested. What were you thinking?
Shit, I don't have any idea.
5,000 gold pieces.
Yeah. 500 gold pieces? I would think this would be a very rare find.
Roll a charisma. Try to hit your charisma or under.
All right. Let's see. 17.
Ooh, nice.
I rolled a 15. My charisma is 17.
He says, that sounds acceptable. See, you've gotten your full 1,000 gold after all. Same deal? You want this in gemstones?
Please.
So
Probably
again,
could have got a lot more for that than that, but
honestly, it was actually the number I was thinking. So like when you said it, okay, he'll consider that because I have no idea what. I don't think there was a suggested thing on that. So you get 20 more gemstones for the unicorn horn.
anybody else?
Those gemstones can be used as currency? Or do we have to trade them for money?
Probably at like inns and taverns and things like that, where it's more like a coin-based thing. You'll probably need coins, but like for a lot of things, yeah, you could be able to use them in bartering and trade and things like that. The nice thing about them is it allows you to carry more. I think you're capped at, you can only carry 1,600 coins.
Yeah, and
'Cause
these
they weigh
gemstones
more.
are like nothing, you know.
So are we
guess the-
thinking maybe our like gemstones are, because I think a bunch of us have like gemstones that are worth 200 each. Should we break that down or keep them that way?
So if you are doing exchanges, you can assume that there's going to be some kind of fee.
Right.
So if you're breaking them down, you're only doing it in terms of, I guess, the convenience of having like a smaller denomination. So not to saying you shouldn't, but it may
But
not
John,
be worth it.
Would you
But
want
John
to Go ahead.
I was gonna say, which honestly, Geoffrey, is one of the reasons why I suggested a bank. No
Well-
We're not
offense,
going to be here that long. We're not going to be here that long. We're going to be moving on.
but we all always know where it is.
We never make them back.
High-Hankle
would be
is
awesome
kind
for
of
us to
out of
come
the
back.
way from where your adventuring aspirations
Okay,
may
point
be.
taken. Point taken.
Would it make sense to transfer some of the gold we have into gems? Because 1,000 gold pieces is a lot just to walk around with. Would it make sense to break half that down into like gemstones again, having there just 500 set aside for in case of emergencies, another 500 in gemstones?
I mean, honestly, I think once we start retaining people and we start traveling, we're going to be going through coin really fucking fast.
Agreed.
Really fast, and I think we're going to need that coin. We're going to need it for play, you know, if we bump into towns to stay at inns, we're going to need it to buy, you know, coin stuff, and we're going to need it to pay the retainers. So my thought was kind of breaking everything down into coin, but I do see the point. We are up against our max coin limit right now, so the gemstones is a good idea. But I'm thinking for these deep blue gemstones that are worth 200 each, we shouldn't even break them out right now. We should just wait. But then again, we don't know when we're going to be back somewhere that we can turn that into coin.
Right. Well, and one thing that I was thinking is like when we hire on somebody, they probably
barter.
would be, you know,
Would
I
take
mean,
gems.
say, hey, here, you know, here's this coin for, you know, your first 2 weeks, and you know, pay a coin beyond that, and people would
Yeah.
Yeah.
jump on that.
Yep.
Too.
Yeah. So I think we'll keep. I'm gonna. I guess. Yeah. I don't see any point in breaking out the gemstones. Maybe this pearl that I have, I'll sell because we can't really use that for money, probably. Or I guess you can barter with a pearl. I've got a couple other things we can sell, but I don't know if we want to hang on to it. Like I've got 2 pure iron longswords.
I mean, if you don't want to use them yourself, I mean, I know my way around a long sword or two.
Yeah, I'll give you one of the pure iron longswords. I'm hanging on to him because it's good for Fae.
Can he hold the pure iron? I mean, can you use it?
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
true.
it's a little warm to the touch. Just as long as I don't cut myself, I'll be just fine. But that'd be in proper sword use.
And then I have a extra mace. I'm gonna hang on to one of the long swords myself and Sir Chide's sword. And then I've got a mace and a short sword I can sell or give to somebody. Or I guess we can hang on to those for retainers. So yeah, I don't think I have anything to sell then at this point then. If we're gonna hang on to the gemstones.
Snurd pulls out a tobacco pipe from his tweed jacket and lights it up, and he says, perhaps we could have, you strike me as treasure seekers. You said that you found these things some far away from here. On anything further that you might bring back, I'd be willing to give you a better deal. How familiar are you with the standing stones throughout the wood?
Novices, but we are familiar.
Well, I have heard legend of a lost hoard of treasure encased within one. I don't have precise location for you of where I have picked up this bit of information, but I've heard that it may be a location some distance north of Redwraith Manor.
Are we familiar with that location?
Yes, you passed by Redwraith Manor on your way to the wizards. That poor wizard's home.
Is that where Malbleed is?
That's Malbleet's home, yeah.
North of Redwraith, huh?
Lots of interesting things north of Redwraith.
So what he's saying is there's some dolmen stones north of Redwraith where there's a hoard buried or located. Okay.
Rumor,
good
legend
information.
has it. Yeah.
And you're offering us good rates and your discretion if we
Well,
bring back pieces of that hoard to you.
yes. They are things that Lord Malbleet would very much desire. You wouldn't want to be caught with them. You will probably have a hard time finding someone who will be willing to take them, but they are very valuable, and I'd be willing to pay you an incredible amount.
What are these things?
I can't say for certain, but Duadort of Smyrn.
Hmm.
Let me just...
I didn't understand that, what you said.
Yeah. Let me pull up the story so I don't butcher this.
Okay.
He will tell you that Duadort of Smyrn was in ancient times, or, you know, this is like a legendary story of this highwayman who pilfered riches off of all sorts of folk back in the day. Perhaps even things from the Cold Prince's diplomats and agents throughout the wood, and that this stone this is a rumor. This stone is where he hid all of these things, and so basically what the goat folk is telling you is that he doesn't really know what you would find, but he desires to have this hoard more for the story, that he could claim ownership of these items from this legend.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's an option. It is an option. I think we had there was some stuff going on up there that we left kind of all that stuff with the, going on up there that we could get involved in too if we wanted
Right.
to.
Yeah, with the kid.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We kind of decided that wasn't our battle, but if we go up looking for this hoard, I'm just saying there's an opportunity. There may be some opportunities there.
He will tell you that there is one item in particular that he has heard rumor of that he is hoping is in the hoard. A great hunting horn that was said to belong to one of the Cold Prince's like master of the hunt type people that was loyal to the Cold Prince.
Look at him.
So
What to keep in mind.
So yeah, you get that little tidbit that there might be some treasure in a kind of a vague location that you could search around for. Any other business that you have with Snurd?
I think we've sold
I
everything.
don't think so. Yeah.
Would you know, I guess, guide me in directions to a good tailor?
Yes, and he'd be able to point you in the direction of somebody in town that can perform those services. He will let's see, we'll just make up a random name here. Amante Burl. He will tell you that this is he kind of points to his tweed jacket, like she helped me out with this, and you can attest to its quality. I can myself say that she does good work, and he'll give you like her directions to her address.
Thank you. Well, I think everything all considered, you've been fair, and I think we could probably do business in the future, as long as your discretion holds, sir.
You will know that it does as soon as you leave town.
It's an interesting way of putting that.
Yeah.
We've just done considerable business. As long as you don't squander it, you should find it is well accounted for.
Excellent.
Saying we're gonna leave town with the money that he gave us.
And it
Since
sounds like an
since
honorable.
we dealt with him, we should be protected from the Thieves Guild. Is kind of my guess.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You did them a great service.
Huh?
You did them a great service.
And he will go to the business of doing some accounting and paying his masters in kind. So,
Right. We just saved him the trouble of taking it off of us. We just handed it over, basically.
No, he probably would have took more. You know?
Oh, they'd have taken everything if they.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They'd have had
saying.
to
they're
do
going to
work,
get
yeah.
their money one way or another, right?
Yeah.
Just how easy you're going to make it for them.
Exactly.
So, you got some business with a tailor.
Yeah, with the weather changing, I want to get. I mean, we're kind of flush with a little bit of cash. I mean, what's the point of adventuring unless you're going to spend some? And I want to get some new clothes made, warmer clothes, winter coming, and that kind of thing. So,
Things so we can go out to very high quality inns and not raise eyebrows.
correct.
I wouldn't mind some of that myself. I get enough stares as it is. And I don't know. I'd like to have somebody take a look at my armor just to make sure it's in good enough condition. Continue to serve its purpose.
Hey, Alex, I'm gonna go check on my daughter here.
Okay, sounds good. So it sounds like everybody wants to buy a set of some warmer clothing,
Sounds like probably a good idea.
Including socks.
including some woolen socks.
Woolen socks,
Grimal.
yes.
Oh.
Specifically wool.
All right, I'm gonna
Specifically
say
wool.
this costs probably in a normal town it would cost maybe 2 gold pieces, but everything is inflated a bit here, so we'll say it's 3 gold pieces a pair for a suit.
Okay. So I'm going to pay that out of the money that I am still holding. 'Cause
Okay,
it's for me.
for just you.
I might as well go ahead and gift it to everybody. I'm feeling expansive.
Wow. Well, that's very
Okay.
sweet of you. Thank you.
Look at money bags over here.
So 15 gold
Don't
pieces.
get any ideas.
Mm.
I mean, Thomas made me a beautiful brocade outfit when it mattered the most.
That is true.
And I'm sure he'll appreciate the cover this time.
Yeah.
All
Maybe I
right.
can get a. Can I? And this is. Can I get a sort of a half mask to sort of cover up at least some of the damage on my face? I know it
Sure.
won't. Thanks.
We'll say 5 silver pieces for something like that. All right. So as I am adding all of these things, other things that you want to do for the day.
I still have aspirations to find Mr. Timothy Dunwallow,
Yeah.
Oh,
Master
that's right.
Locksmith extraordinaire.
We do have a box to open, a treasure chest.
Yes. So, you will find Dimothy located on the, I don't know, we'll say it's probably in the same district even, like somewhere over on the side of the city. And Dimothy is a man in his maybe late 40s. He's got a spectacled man. He's kind of losing his hair a bit. He's starting to bald. And he's tinkering with some kind of a jewelry box. It looks like maybe fitting it with a lock as you come into his shop. And you present him with this lockbox that you found in the barrow, correct?
Yes, I think is the one from the Elven Chambers, where like just south of where we found the like weapons.
Where we lost silver.
Yep.
He will take a look at it and tell you 25 gold pieces to unlock this.
24 gold pieces, and I give you a bagel for free.
He laughs and says, all right.
I will.
What's a bagel?
Where do you put a bagel?
I will clasp his hands together and just give them like a little like rub, and then appears this like little circular dough pastry dish that has like little speckles of, I don't know, something like a little bit of everything, one might say. That, sir, is a bagel. Comes fresh with a nice spread of cream cheese.
He takes a bite. He's like, this is amazing. All right. So 25 gold. I'll take that off of Topsy. Well, 24 gold.
That's right. I'm making money moves.
And he's going to get to work here. Now I got to find... Where the hell was that box?
Oh, Timmy, you should have seen me totally finesse this guy. He offered 25 gold to open the box. I asked for 24, but I gave him a bagel.
Pricey bagel. Well done.
If you ever want anything, just let me know.
You can make that out of nothing,
Oh yeah, just poof, it's there.
All right.
but not rats.
No rats.
Good to know.
So inside... There are... What?
Uh-oh.
What?
What?
24 bagels.
Oh, I see. Okay.
2 million copper pieces.
I got it.
Hmm.
There are 3 yellow oak leaves.
Huh?
He's like, "Oh, your box is open." And he just like
What?
picks up one of the leaves and kind of like twirls
What
it around a little bit.
What? What?
Three.
This it's that just can't be it. Who would have an entire box locked for a couple of leaves? That's
But where did we find it?
We find it. We found it.
in the chambers of a crazy group of elves.
Oh, that guy, the king who is 47, who is 4 or whatever.
Yeah, sure. The
Good
prince
to
who was
know.
7, or prince who was, I think is his thing.
Yeah, something like that.
But this is Timmy, you're a smart guy. What do you think? Is it just leaves? Is this really just leaves? All this effort and 24 gold pieces and a bagel for 3 leaves?
Could this have something to do with like a puzzle in that dungeon maybe, or something that we could have solved?
I don't know. What?
They leaves from an oak tree from the Fey realm.
I'll pick up one of the leaves. I'm gonna look at it.
It looks about the right size of a leaf from an oak tree. It's got this kind of golden color to it, almost like a leaf that is maybe been plucked from a tree during the autumn.
This isn't even in season yet. Well, I guess it is now in season, but at the time we collected this wasn't in season. So, something's up here. It can't just be just a yellow leaf. There's something more to this.
So, as you're waving this leaf around in the shop, at some point you are gesticulating around a little bit, and you wave the leaf in front of like an open window in which some sun is pouring through, and like it pops, and 100 gold pieces kind of rain down and drop in that spot.
What did I do?
What?
Like the leaf physically pops?
It pops and like, yeah, it just rains like coins in that little spot there, and the leaf disappears.
Is going on.
You start moving the leaves into the front of the window, and as they're exposed to the sunlight, and in the end, you're left with 300 gold pieces.
Oh!
Hmm.
It's
And-
really raining money. We should have totally kept those leaves. You know how white leaves are?
That is true.
I mean, hey. Pretty sweet, those tricky little elfin magic fancy stuff. But,
Yeah.
boy. That probably why explains it's in a box. Maybe if it's like a light thing, because it's in season now, poof, gold.
Pretty cool.
You ever see anything like this, Mr. Dunwallow? By the way, is that like a long lineage family name, or like where does the name come from? I really gotta know.
Well, our family goes back many generations. We've lived here in the High-Hankle since the first days of settlers of Brackenwold came to the forest.
Oh, well, you weren't lying about your craft and lockpicking. But like, is it like an original family name, or did like you married into the family kind of thing, or like how does that work?
Oh, it's
Like-
my family.
It's your family.
Yes.
Would you say you're like a 8th generation Dunwallow?
Something like that. I don't know. Right off the top of
I don't
my
know.
head.
Either. It's just such an interesting, unique name. I just never heard it before.
What is your name?
Oh, Topsy Fluff-a-kin.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting about that.
How dare you? This goes back thousands of years.
Well, this is a very interesting item that you bring for me. This is clearly fey magic. I've never seen anything like this. This is wonderful. This. Too bad you didn't have more.
I still think we're grateful that we had this much to begin with. Never be upset for what you got.
So, well, if you ever have future locksmithing needs, please feel free to come back.
That does remind me. Do you have a pair of lockpicks yourself? Well, I'm sort of an amateur lockpickist myself, but I'm not like that good at it just yet. I'm still learning a little bit more. Do you have any like tools that can help me with such a thing?
Sure. Costs you 30 gold pieces.
All right, party. Should I spell out 30 gold pieces for some thieves
For thieves
tools?
You can use them. If you can use them, yeah,
I
definitely.
have the skill pick lock. That's why I bring it up.
Yeah, do it. It'll make your chances better, right? Absolutely.
I would like to acquire 1 thieves tools, please.
All right. All right, I will add that in due time here. Add thieves tools to Topsy. What's I'll take it out of that 300 that you just acquired. Where's the rest of that money going?
give it to Topsy. He's the
I'm the money cat,
yeah.
the kitty bank.
He's the kitty. We keep our money in the kitty.
All right. You might be running out of room in your. I think the sacks were
You got
600
1,200,
pieces, right?
Yep.
I guess I'll take whatever overflow,
Okay, sounds good.
and then I'll go back to carrying whatever we acquire until his numbers go down. But that was a great idea, actually. That gives us the ability to carry more money. Never thought carrying money would be our problem.
As you said, what good is money unless you spend it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna be spending it on these retainers.
What
Okay.
other equipment do you need, Topsy?
Well, I mean, I can use a sword like any other, but I'm not. I mean, it's a little more difficult for someone of my stature. I'm more better with like the longer stuff, like the pew pew, like the crossbows or the bows type of thing. But I can use anything: armor, shields, weapons, all sorts. I know how to use them. Just some of them not as good as others. Like I can wear what big boy here's got, but you know, his size is a little too extra for me.
All right. Do we want to zip through? Is there some equipment buying that you guys want to do quick?
I just wanted to check my armor to make sure that it was still in good enough shape, or whether I needed to do something maintenance-wise or anything like that, or if that is even necessary.
Is there some reason that it's, you tell me because I don't remember. Was there some penalty to AC that I gave it?
No, you did not
Okay.
give it any penalty.
Then it should be
to
good.
AC.
Should be good.
Okay.
I guess I'll ask the group. What role do you want Topsy to serve? If you want to be in the front, I can go like full armor set, or I can be at range as well. I'm better at range, is what I'll say, because I have
I think
a
if
better
you're
deck.
better at range, then we could kind of have you and Lillibeth hang back. It's been
Mhm.
sort of like me and Thomas up front, and then everybody else kind of in the back. So I think Thomas, how do you feel about that? Do you want a little more help up front? Do you feel vulnerable, or?
No, I mean I think I'm pretty well set up. I currently have chainmail, but I think that is the best that I can wear.
I
don't
might
think
try to see if
I
I
don't think I can do, plate or whatever. I don't.
I
think.
might try to see if I could plate up, because I think I have chain.
Yeah, like same thing. I can go all the way up to plate mail. I can, but I'd say at least for starters, a crossbow probably would be better in my hands.
Crossbow will be 30 gold pieces, and then a case with 30 bolts will be 10.
Good.
Good on that.
How much would be plate armor for Geoffrey?
Let me do the transaction with this first. So where do we want that 40 gold to come from?
I'll say from the Topsy pile.
The Topsy pile. Sounds good. 1160, and I'll make a note. I have my mic arm is at an odd place where with my foundry screen, so I'm just making a note. Add crossbow plus bolts to Topsy. So the other question there was plate.
Yeah, and then maybe if I plate up, I don't know. Yeah, my armor would probably be too big for our Grimalkin friend.
So because you are in High-Hankle, so there's standard plate, which is really kind of, a couple of pieces of plate on your arms, like a breastplate. It's like kind of like maybe like more like a half plate kind of suit.
Mm-hmm.
That would cost you that would cost you 60 gold pieces. Gives you an AC of 16.
Okay.
But in High-Hankle, there is a there is an armor smith that can make full plate armor, which is a significantly expensive piece of equipment to obtain because it is perfectly interlocking. Like it's what you picture when you picture like a full suited with a visored helm or whatever. So this would cost 1,000 gold pieces and takes a month to craft, but it gives you an AC of 17.
I mean, I would love to do that, but are we going to be here in a month? And that's like more most of our money.
And do you add your dex to that as well, or is that just a flat?
Yeah, it would be a flat.
Yeah. But I would get +1 to that with my shield. I would have an 18. It would be pretty nice, but it could be a hope for the future, maybe, because I think we're 1,000 gold pieces unless we're much more flush than we are now, maybe, because we're gonna need that 1,000 for these retainers coming up. Maybe upon return from the Cold Princes.
You're currently in chain?
I'm currently in chain. I could 60. Yeah, I could throw that 60 down for the half plate. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Let's throw that 60 down for the half plate now.
Okay.
And then, Topsy, do you have any interest in this chain? Perhaps we could have them adjusted to fit you?
I believe I can wear chain. I guess it depends on if it has a dex modifier or not.
I'll say the chainmail does if it was fitted proper.
I'd say because if I wear chain, it's a definite improvement to my current situation, which is leather currently.
Would there be any kind of cost to size it to him?
Yes. We'll say 10 gold pieces for that.
Let's do that. You could take that out of my gold.
Okay. So... So the chainmail I will add onto Topsy. Add plate to Geoffrey. Okay, sounds good.
Do we need any extra shields at all?
I still have mine.
I don't use a
busted
shield.
yet, so.
Did you get your crossbow?
Yes.
Some bolts. Yeah.
Other purchases.
If it does come to it, I can go into melee. Would it be worth it to have a shield for myself or no? Because I can use a longsword and a shield too.
The shield would give you a +1 to your AC, which is kind of nice.
Shield, 10 gold.
Buy one. Yeah, I would say buy it if you want it.
Yeah, I'd say sure, and also in case you lose your shield, it's good to have a backup shield in case.
I think there is a mechanic where they can break.
Like yeah, you can sacrifice it to.
I can sacrifice it to not take damage or something. I think if the attack is gonna bring me below 0 hit points, I can sacrifice my shield to not take damage.
All right, so shield purchased.
Nice.
Other things in the town that you want to do today?
I think the last thing that Geoffrey would want to do is, we are in town. We are here to kind of build up some people, and we can try to get one retainer a day. So I think Geoffrey would probably like to go somewhere where maybe military types hang out, maybe strike up some conversations, carouse, and throw it out there that we're hiring, and see if we can find somebody of worth.
There's one other thing at some point before we head out. A couple other items that I have that the heirloom guy, but wouldn't be able to help with, but I have an unidentified potion, and I also have a scroll of knock and a spell book.
Okay.
Oh, are you talking about that witch's spell book?
No, this is
A different one.
I think this was from the wizard that was.
Merridwood Skimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Which we don't have. We currently don't have a wizard, but
We don't.
this might be something that would be kind of an in to get a wizard.
Could be some leverage to get a wizard more affordably.
Yeah. That we give the spell book, have them identify the potion, give them the scroll and the spell book, and perhaps that could at least maybe get a month or two. I mean, it all depends on how valuable it is, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that wizards salivate over,
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that and that might be something, that we do tomorrow or whatever, but I'm just saying that we have these things that would be something to perhaps be able to get a wizard retainer or hireling or whatever.
Yeah, sounds good. So you're gonna start kind of floating it around that you have these things in hopes that it might attract such a person.
No. Want to see if there is a wizard in town, and I would prefer to approach them rather than float it around in a.
Not in this town.
In
Although
a,
we do have protection right now.
I will
Well,
say it's not super obvious. Like as you're walking around the streets of the city, like you don't see like a magic shop or something that like is obvious in that way.
Okay. I would float around, perhaps maybe that we're looking to meet with a wizard, that we have need of services of a wizard.
Okay. So I'm going to say for today, all you're doing is kind of getting that info out there that you're not finding anyone that knows directly a wizard that they can refer you to, but it may be basically there'll be a chance on subsequent days that you might be able to get a wizard to approach you.
Okay.
Cool. So moving into, you want to find like a tavern where you might be able to recruit some folk?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm looking more for ex-military types,
Okay.
So I'm gonna go around the kind of, I'm looking for the types of bars that like those night types would hang out in. And maybe look for some people who are, maybe not drinking with the rest of the crew after work.
We also need to find that Sir Waverly, the orange.
Yes,
as well.
do.
We'll say probably Cold Links might be your best option. It is a teetering 3-story wooden building whose small windows constantly emit the stench of pipe smoke. This is probably less of a merchant's aristocrat hangout and probably more the type of people that you're looking for. So you will find it near the edge of the wall, over by on the outside, kind of near where you came in to town. And so you will make your way over to this building. There's a weeping cat's face surrounded by sliced onions that makes up the sign outside Cold Links. You enter in. It is a bustling space, pretty crowded. Lots of tobacco smoke, pipe smoke in the air. You can see that there is a wood grue that seems to be the proprietor serving up drinks from behind the bar top. There is some entertainment. There are fire jugglers and a musician up on stage that are. The stage is kind of in the center of the space, and there's like a crowd around that spot, all kind of jeering and cheering and throwing coins up on the stage. There are tables laid out where there seems to be some gambling and card games. You get the feeling that you're probably being sized up by a number of people in the tavern as you come in. And maybe holding on to faith that some of your interactions earlier in their day maybe made their way either to these people, or that, you know, there's a blanket of security around you as you're coming in. The tavern does not serve food aside from a dish that they are famous for, in which they are named for, cold links. It is a raw grated onion dish that is marinated in mustard and beer that costs 2 silver pieces, sort of a appetizer for go along with your beer.
What time of day is it? Are we?
It's
I'm
probably
assuming
evening.
we're sort of in the evening, right? Because we've done all this stuff all day.
Yeah.
We're still looking for lodgings for the night. Does this place do lodgings?
This place does not do lodgings. The other place that you were looking for would be on the opposite side of the wall. It's called the Chantry.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I want to add that to my collection of treats, if you don't mind me saying so.
Onion?
Oh, yeah. It sounds awesome.
Oh, okay.
What? You don't like onions?
No. I just always thought that onions were somewhat, well, okay, poisonous to cats, but that doesn't necessarily mean poisonous to Grimalkins.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not like your average frankly, if I'm being honest, I don't really need to eat half the time, but if I don't, I get a little cranky. Like, it gets bad.
Okay.
They do have a variant on this dish that is enhanced with bacon for 1 silver piece
Ooh.
more.
I mean, it's like a 2-for-1 special if you ask me. What do you say? How about we buy one for the table? Come on.
Yeah.
Please.
Anyway.
Okay.
Maybe 3.
You're really hungry, aren't you?
Ooh, well, there's. I mean, you got Muscles McGillicuddy over here, who's like always eating. I mean, you gotta keep up that shape, right?
Yep, you do. And maybe we'll be more successful later on than we were yesterday.
All right, so you would get some of this dish, and how about drinks?
Yep.
Both-
Round of drinks.
Both for yourself and potentially for...
Anyone we're talking with, probably yapping with. Couple.
Yep.
Brews. Yeah, definitely. Right. With the carousing, we're probably buying some drinks and talking it up, and maybe doing a bit of gambling as well.
Definitely.
So here they will serve this Tideland cider. It's a sharp amber, slightly sour beverage. Perfect for this fall atmosphere that we are in. And that will cost 2 silver pieces each. So 1 for each of you. And do you want to say a round of beverages for potential recruits that are coming in? So we'll just I'll take this from Topsy. Before we get into like hiring potential new recruits, let me give you a little bit of info about what the Friar comes back with. We'll say that you've met up with him now at this point. He's here, and he will tell you that he met with a member of the Church of the One True God, the Venerable Adreline Sumner, who is the Archdeacon of High-Hankle. And when he talked with her, he got a blessing, and he spent some time telling her a bit about your travels and his desire to be of service to the people and to the church. And Adreline would have shared that there is a need to reclaim some of the ancient shrines, the markers of the saints that have been lost to the Dolmenwood, and that she has a desire to, like many of these places that have been consumed by the forest, have become cursed or tainted by blight, some of which she probably wouldn't say that it is the Naglord's influence, but she might infer that it is the Naglord's influence because, you know, Brackenwold and the church don't really acknowledge that the Naglord is a real thing, but I think Friar Fitzpatrick might get the sense that she believes that there is something going on that is unexplainable, and maybe it is the Naglord. And so she would share that there is a old city that has fallen, or city isn't the right word, old village some distance away that is a place that has fallen into disarray. And sorry, I'm trying to whip through here because I want to give a general sense of where this could be encountered. And while I'm doing that, thank you so much for an anonymous gifter gave Grimple a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Seahog. Appreciate that. Okay. I believe it's northeast. Yes, to the northeast, just off the road. She would have told him that the village of Langston, now mostly submerged in sort of a swampy bog, is tainted and requires a blessing. There's a sunken church there where it needs to be consecrated by a member of the one true God and have a blessing placed upon it to try to put to rest many of the spirits that still linger there. This is just but one bit of information that the good friar would come back with, but she will say that there are all sorts of shrines and places just like that in the Dolmenwood that she would be much appreciative of the friar if he could go out and either locate some of these places or maybe even put the legwork in to reconsecrate them and re-bless them. So
definitely something the friar would be interested in.
Oh, and there was another anonymous gifter gave Seahog a gifted sub. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Now, were these shrines, did they just go into like disuse, or were they actually like taken over and desecrated in some fashion?
So the one for in the case of Langston, the reason or the story behind why it came to be the way it is because of a curse placed not necessarily on the village, but of the saint to whom the saint who originally was the caretaker of the church there, and his name is Saint Howarth, the Accursed.
The Accursed.
The Accursed.
And he is so named because he was a wandering mendicant who that is why he kind of settled down in Langston, was because at one point there had been something of a kind of a leprosy epidemic that took hold there, and the people there needed healing, and so he brought divine healing of the one true God to those people and helped them out. But he died, and the story goes, I'm trying to determine right now whether like the story of the why would be public knowledge or even known to the church. We will say that the belief is that Saint Haworth ran afoul of a hag at some point in his travels, and that this hag had asked to get a lift with him, get a ride on his horse-drawn cart, and that he refused her, and that he placed a curse upon him that followed him until the day he died. And after his death, that is when Langston fell into ruin. And it is said that the dead of Langston do not rest, and in some cases rise at night.
Was is better than the day.
Yes.
But they're easier to see during the day.
True. That would be a fun curse. Dead will rise during the day.
So, shall we get to the business of recruiting some hirelings?
Think so.
Let us start with Thomas.
Okay.
It's
Now, I'm going to make a suggestion that perhaps maybe what we do in this recruiting at this point would be for something smaller, like perhaps maybe the Griffins, something more in the area that we can try these guys out.
Yeah.
And, I mean, rather than hiring them on for a month or whatever, do something a little smaller and check them out. Make sure that they're decent.
I like it. Yeah, we could throw out there that we're looking for, people for a number of adventures that we're partaking in locally for the time being.
Right.
Maybe heading to Langston, maybe the Griffins.
Right.
Or both.
So you start to kind of, feel it out in the room, see if you can find some individuals. And Thomas, you are at some point find yourself in conversation with a individual who seems to walk with a little bit of a limp, but tells you that his name is Chag.
Okay.
And he tells you that he's trying to get an in with the Thieves Guild, and he overheard some of the patrons of the tavern saying that you were not to be messed with. And so he's kind of coming up to you, kind of like, do you have an inn? I hear you got some work. I'd love to build up some reputation so I could get an invite with the guild. Seems like you've got some kind of affiliation.
Honestly, it's not, I suppose, as direct as you would think, but it's purely business, kind of peripheral, I suppose. what skills do you possess?
Well,
What happened to your leg, if you don't mind me asking?
a little bit of a horse accident, but I can assure you, I'm still mobile. I can carry a pole arm. I know how to wield a bow, and I've been practicing. I know my way around a lock. I just need a chance to prove myself.
What, I guess, why is it that you're seeking the Thieves Guild out as opposed to some other business?
Well, I'm not as young. He's certainly not a young man, but he's not particularly old. He's probably like in his mid-30s, but he would probably point to the fact that he has this injury and knows that like a life of hard labor is not something that he thinks is going to be in his future. And so he sort of suggests, the Thieves Guild, if you can get in with them and you can get your spot, you can make a pretty penny without having to put in too much legwork. But it's all about connections, and it's about gaining the reputation and gaining their eye and their trust. And so I know I'm going to have to put some work in on the front end here, but I am hoping that I can develop that reputation.
So your goal is to retire early.
Yes.
And do as little work as possible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it.
All right.
He's honest.
Yeah.
I would say, as you're looking at him, you would not have pegged him for a roguish type, given the limp, and he's got a pretty decent physique. Like, he looks like someone that has put in a lot of labor. He even kind of wears, like, he's just wearing kind of like this like piece of cloth that's kind of just barely a vest, and he almost like he's advertising like he's sort of muscle for hire.
Sure. Say, if you could do me a favor, place your hands on the table. Palms up, please.
He does so.
Do his hands look calloused or soft?
They look calloused.
All right.
I summon a pickle and put it in his open hands.
He's
Finally got to do it.
What is this?
A pickle.
Is that a gherkin?
Yeah, it is a gherkin. Well, Chag, pardon me. You're I'll have to speak it over with, talk it over with my companions. But I like what you're selling.
And shall we talk? Do you want to know my rate?
Sure. Yeah. What's your rate?
3 gold pieces a day, half share of loot would be his
That would
rate.
be your ask.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy a drink on me, and I will get back to you.
We'll just keep going here. Sir Geoffrey, you end up at the bar, and one of the barkeeps actually was helping out this the Woodgrew barkeep. You're talking with a human who is he looks like he's very disgruntled. He kind of opens up in talking with you about how mismanaged this place is, and he can't wait to get out of here and start his own tavern. But he gets on to say, I heard that you're looking for work, or you're looking for people who can work. And he would say he wants in, that he has He's done some jobs with some of the members of the guild. So, you know, you're talking with another thief, essentially. You're going to find probably a lot of thieves here.
Yeah.
And his name is Tuth. He's just looking for some jobs that he can get some coin to start a legitimate business, but he wants in on what you got going. He says if it's I heard you're looking for people to help with the Griffin problem. I heard about that. It's risky, but if it pays well, yeah, I'd be willing to do it. He would have the same kind of rate, 3 gold pieces plus a half share of like any reward, any loot, any of that kind of thing that your company brings in.
Now, how does that work if we get multiple people and it's like a half share?
It's just
Right.
divided. So like whatever we would
So
divide
we take
up.
half the loot, we take the other half and split it up between all the retained, and that's probably pretty
Essentially.
standard.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, and he said he's a fighter type. You know, I'll kind of ask him about his skills. You know, you know, does he look burly?
He doesn't as much as the other one. But he would tell you he's quick. He has proficiency with like thieves' tools. He can wield a dagger, spear.
Gotcha. Okay.
He'll probably sell you on, you know, I'm a barkeep. This place ain't every night we're dealing with something rough happens, you know, like I can handle myself.
Yeah. Right on. Well, yeah, I think kind of the same deal. It'll be like, you know, let me talk it over with my companions, but most likely, you know, I like the cut of your jib. I like the fact that you want to start your own place and that you're just looking to raise the money. So, yeah, probably look to help you out with that.
I should probably hold up some of these things so you can see these guys. So Chag, I don't know if my camera will kind of pull him into focus.
Oh, okay. All right.
All scarred up a bit. And then Tuth, the angry barkeep. There he is.
Oh, they're so cool.
Right.
Yeah, these cards are cool. So if anybody's wondering, like, what are these resources? 1 second. These all come from the Best Supporting Actors, which is a big, huge book of ready-to-play characters, NPCs, whatever you need them to be. There was a Kickstarter that these guys did, Gaming Ballistic, and one of the add-on things, you could get these cards. So these are, like, super handy. I don't know if... I assume that
Very
they
cool.
probably sell it on their website now, that the Kickstarter's ended, so go check them out. Gaming Ballistic is the name of the group.
Cool.
Lillibeth, you would,
Yeah.
this makes sense. You would attract probably a hunter type, and so you end up talking with Kezi,
Oh, hi, Kessie.
and she heard about that you're maybe trying to employ people for a griffin hunt, and she would say she has a long resume of tracking, and she's never dealt with a griffin necessarily, but she knows the dangers involved with that. But she would very much like to be a part of your group and maybe get a cut of that. She is going to be a little bit pricier because she's a second level is why. So she's a little bit better off and has a more of a skill set than those others. So her rate would be, I'm going to say she's 10 gold per day and a half share.
So that is a little bit more pricey, but let's get down to brass tacks. So I'm here with my. Is everybody hearing?
I think you're all kind of like individually like scouting, you know, potential recruits.
So before I left to come here, it's been my goal that actually established myself as a hunter's. Tired of living in cities, tired of dealing with lots of people who don't really understand what it means to actually pit themselves against another creature and honor them at the same time. So if you're interested in that as well, or at least you know someone who can help me to learn how to do that here, then I'd say your rate is well worth the cost.
Sounds good. Just so you know, Moreen, I think maybe your mic got pulled away from your mouth a little bit. It was
Sorry.
kind of fluctuating. I think I got it though. So she's
Okay.
on, she's in the running. You'll consider once you've conferred with the others. And then
Yes.
I guess lastly, Topsy, you're going to end up in conversation with Kivran. Female human. She's kind of attracted to you, maybe because she has a little bit of a jovial, kind of jolly persona about her. She's maybe a little bit overweight, but she tells you that she has been a part of all sorts of treasure hunting groups, many of which she remembers fondly. She has like all these stories that she's sharing of you, like, oh, this one time, we were out. I was actually in Brackenwold, just outside the castle, and we did a job on this minor noble, and we walked away. She's just telling you like these wild stories of everything that she's done. And she's like, boy, do I love my work. I'm a hard worker. I've got a positive attitude. I would be more than happy to tag along with you guys.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm already a huge fan of your work. What do you think? We could make this work, but I'm all for just hiring you on the spot, but I'm also kind of like the new recruit of the group, and I gotta show them, like, say I'm responsible and stuff. What would you say is your going rate right now?
I was thinking like 30 gold a day and a half share.
That's a pretty interesting thing. Let's see. I'll tell you what, I got one test for you. And like he'll conjure up like a scone and just hand it to him. This is your test.
She'll like break it into two and give you half. And bite into hers. That's pretty good.
Interesting. We'll be in touch.
All right. So those are the 4 potential people for today and their rates.
So we had 2 people who were 4 gold pieces a day.
I think you have 3 that are basically 3 first level thieves that are 3 gold a day and a half share, and then a second level ranger who is 10 gold per day and a half share.
I'll tell you, Geoffrey's kind of leaning to take the cheapies and leave the expensive one on the table for now, but I'm down for whatever the party's down for. It just seems like that's like a lot of money. Although if we are going hunting for Griffins, we may want a second level hunter. We got to talk to Waverly though. Probably tomorrow. Probably first order of business tomorrow.
That's what to say. We don't even have a contract yet. We're just saying, hey, we might do this thing and kind of, say, well, maybe hire you, but we don't know if we're doing it yet. So maybe it's a good idea to at least know what we're walking into and say, hey, we'll be in touch. We'll let you know if you're up for the task, kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe like, hey, we've interviewed you all. Meet us here tomorrow, and we'll let you know if you got the job.
Yep. And by that time, there will have been enough time for rumor to spread, and we might have a little larger group of people.
We can tell them, spread the word. Like if you have friends that are looking for work too, maybe bring them in, because we're, you're the first 4 we've met, but we're looking to hire, let's say 8.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's true or not.
Ambitious are we, young man?
I don't know. We if we're going
maybe 7.
3 Griffins, we're gonna need some help.
Yeah, we need at least, from what I could tell by looking at the Griffin handlers when we came in, there were how many of them? 4?
4 handlers and 4 knights, I think it was.
Yeah, that
That's
gives
sort
us
of
an idea.
I'm sort of thinking doubling our ranks is a good idea for this, but we'll see what Waverly has to say.
Yeah, I mean it, and like I said, we're kind of doing this to get a bead on on these people as well. If there are 4 Griffins out there, I mean, I was even going to suggest if we ended up taking 10 or 12, but then you look out of that 12 to take 6 with us to something, beyond.
So
Kind of like this is your first job.
let me
If they survive.
let me telegraph this just to help you. So at this point, I think everybody kind of knows about the Griffin thing, and you're going to be able, even though you haven't talked to Waverly, you're going to get a sense of what is the risk reward here. Waverly is paying 1,500 gold pieces for each Griffin that is brought back to safety.
Safety,
Gotta bring
not
it
dead.
back.
Alive.
Alive. You have to bring them back alive.
Isn't that the pickle?
This is very dangerous. This is extremely dangerous work.
Oh,
But
we
there's
have
a huge
remote.
reward on the table if you can do it.
The potential of like, math is hard. Like what? Almost 6,000 golds worth of Griffin stuff. Bring all 4 back alive. That's a lot, but also Griffin could just destroy you immediately.
Not if you give it a Griffin treat that it likes.
Oh, like a horse.
I would also
Maybe a
say,
horse flavored bagel.
Ooh.
so the people that you're getting that are coming up to you are not like the best.
Right.
And there's that's the reason, is that these are people that are desperate or willing to take that risk. They know that they might die doing it, but they're not like, you're not getting like level 2, level 3 fighters. Like anybody that's experienced, Kezi is a different case. She's a hunter. She seems to think that she's got the skill set for this, but outside of that, you're not getting the best of the best.
And honestly, based on that, it makes Kezi's 10 gold pieces a day seem much more affordable. Because we're going to need those skills to not only hunt the animal, but to keep them in check.
There's a lot of information that we are going to need. Because if these are somewhat trained, there's going to be commands and stuff that we're going to need to get that information, that is stuff that can be used to calm the things down. Perhaps we take, some kind of treats and things like that, or what they like to eat. We will probably have to get nets. I mean, if we're going to capture these things, we would want to use nets rather than swords. So there's all kinds of prep that we're going to need to think about going into this thing. So
It might be that, with the prep and the stuff that we're going to have to do for this, it might be even that, I don't know, there is that other kind of mission on the table, the swamp, consecrating the swamp town.
Yeah.
Which, as intense as that sounds, may be a less intense first test mission. Although it would involve some travel back up to Langston and back.
Well, I'll tell you,
No.
one doesn't sound immediately as deadly as the other.
Doesn't sound that way.
That's the key word.
And if the Friar is with us and there's rumors of undead, that does give us an advantage.
And he will want to help those souls, whether they are living or dead.
I'm pretty sure my brother will be interested in helping both of these. He really expressed a desire to get back to like doing things that help the people, and both of these things will help people. it'll help set souls at rest. And then also, think about these griffins are probably wreaking havoc on the countryside right now. There's no livestock that's safe. That means everybody's livelihoods are in danger. So I think
And their
both of these
lives.
are worthy
Okay.
tests.
Agreed.
Well, and I don't know that much about griffins, but I mean, are these magical? Like, are these considered monsters? Are these considered animals?
I think they would probably be more considered monsters than
Monster,
true animals.
Okay. I was going to say, because at 4th level, I can play music and charm monsters, or pardon me, animals. So I was thinking, we did something. I was able to gain a level. I could maybe charm one of them, but if they're monsters, that's well out of reach.
You charm beasts at 4th level?
Yeah.
Gotcha. We could look it up. They may be mythical beasts.
Well, they're not very mythical if they have an entire stable of them.
That's true. Just
But they
crossing
could
my
be.
fingers. Just crossing my fingers that it might work out. But they're monsters, so we're screwed on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because potentially if we went up to the swamp and there's some levels to be gained up there. Knowing that we have to bring the beast back alive, Geoffrey's definitely a little more worried about that mission now. It sort of feels like maybe doing the other thing first would be a good idea, but I don't know. I'm open for anything. Or we're gonna need to get a lot more people, or we're gonna need a lot more cannon fodder to throw at the griffins.
Or we just need to learn more about the griffins, which we don't know yet. So in any event, no matter what, we can't decide right now what we're going to do, but we do know we need people.
Yeah. We'll tell them to meet us back here tomorrow.
All
and
right.
we'll hire them on if need be, I think is the plan.
So
We'll give them our decision.
just given the time, I think we would advance to the 9th. I'm going to need each of you to do... Or, no, I will do it. We will find out who shows back up tomorrow. So, Thomas...
I had Chag.
Chag is coming back, and he has a bonus to his loyalty to you if you hire him. Tuth comes back. That's the barkeep, angry barkeep. Lillibeth, does Kezzy come back? Yes, she does. And she's got a little bonus to loyalty if she sticks around if you hire her. And Kivrin or Topsy. What's your charisma score?
I think it's 13.
Okay. Roll again. Okay, they come back. So all 4 of these people show up in the morning. Do you want some time to decide whether you're hiring them, or are we good making that call?
We wanted them
end?
to come. We wanted them to come in the evening because we were going to talk with.
We want to talk to Waverly.
Sir Waverly first.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. So it sounds like next time we play, which is going to be some time from now, we won't have another session until November because of Gamehole Con and some other things that are going on. So the next game would be November 4th.
Oh,
perfect.
Any issues for anybody?
Nope.
Good for me.
Not at this point.
All
the
right.
way my week's been, who knows?
Right.
But...
Well, definitely stop coughing by then.
All right, so we're going to bring us to a close, but maybe we'll take a moment here to do some gratitude. And Lyra, I saw you were out there. My gratitude goes to you for everything that you are offering to do in terms of keeping this going as a podcast. That's awesome, and I'm more than thrilled to see it because I know a lot of people are enjoying our game in that format. So that's awesome.
I will piggyback right on top of that because for all the reasons that others have stated, I also really enjoy the podcast. So thank you so much. And it helps me to keep up with where we are.
Yeah, we probably get a
Um,
lot of value out of it ourselves.
we absolutely do. And it's always fun. It's fun to hear how the condensed version is out. And then additionally, I want to give huge props to Dawson for just picking up in the middle of something that he and I did not discuss, had in no way planned in advance, and just run it. So thank you.
I'll go next. Once again, I also send gratitude out to for Lara to being on the podcast. I mean, that's how I mostly listened to this before I hopped in. And my also gratitude goes out to you again, Moreen, for just saying, "Let's go rat hunting. Let's just do it. Why not?" And you're like, "I'm absolutely for this." And it's like my hunts for a rat continues, and hopefully I'll find one eventually.
I just rolled a d6 just to move it along. On this night, being in the place that you are in, you would find plenty of rats to lure into little traps and things that you devise. So you are successful in that.
Oh,
yay!
Yeah, I just find like just goofy. It's like, yeah, you can eat rats. It's like you're absolutely was playing on it. It's like we make a little game out of it. I really enjoyed. So that's mine.
Yeah, I'll throw some gratitude out to Lyra for the podcast, for sure, and then also to Maureen and Dawson for their rat hunting randomness. It's always fun to just kind of see the the odd little twists and turns that people come up with to do. So
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on Lyra. Those podcasts really come in handy for me if I miss a session to like catch up. So I will readily admit that I was a little disappointed, but totally understood why Alex was not gonna do it anymore. So bowing down to you, thank you for keeping that going. And then my kind of in-game is gonna go out to Chris because I just really thought you made your retainer work for it. Like that interview, I thought was really in depth, and I really enjoyed. Like it was the fun part of role playing. So thank you for that. I thought it was cool.
Well, I think that's gonna do it for us. Thanks everybody for hanging out. This weekend is Virtual Greyhawk, and I think Chaotic Good Gaming, it looks like they're streaming something in relation to that. So they're doing a Ghosts of Saltmarsh thing. So let's give them a raid and see where they're at.
And I am in the Joust of Altamira this evening.
Oh, very cool.
So I'm looking
Nice.
forward to that. So
Is there a channel that's being streamed on, or
Lord Gazumba?
Oh,
it's
just-
like it's like the main event or whatever where he's got
Everything.
18 of us or whatever that are going to
Holy.
be on the stream.
wow,
It'll
cool.
be fun.
We'll definitely have to check that out. So, what time does that start?
It is. What time is it? Like 5 o'clock my time. I think 6 o'clock Eastern. So, and it usually runs about 4 hours. The character I am is probably not the best equipped to do it, so I don't know how quickly I will be eliminated. But I'm just happy to.
You could get really lucky.
The
I
dice
could
will
get really lucky.
decide.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be very fun. So.
Awesome. Well, we'll throw a raid out to Chaotic Good Gaming for now. Come back tonight, check out Lord Gazumba, and hopefully we'll see. We'll wish good luck to Chris.
Aaron
Yes.
Winchester. That is who.
Sir Aaron Winchester?
No, sir.
No,
Just
sir.
fighter magic user, daughter of one of the previous champions or something like that. So
Awesome.
yes.
Well, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Alex.